Well, according to the doctors, I'm not meant to be here. I'm a literal walking miracle. I was born with my heart on the outside of my body and clubbed feet. And when I was a couple of days old, they grafted some skin from my leg and put it on my heart and said to my parents, "Your daughter has been born with a very rare condition. It's highly unlikely that she'll survive. We need you to wait for a phone call that's going to come to say that your daughter has died in the night." Family members also said to my parents at that time, "Do you know why she's been born like that? She was born like that because she's a curse for everything you've ever done wrong. You should put her in a home and forget that she exists." My parents heard the report from the doctors and heard, negative feedback from some family members, and their response is always and will always be, "Nah, she's meant to be here. There's a reason why she's here." And they chose life for me in that moment. I kind of didn't realise how different I was until I was a little bit older. But I had to wear like a fiberglass shield that strapped around my chest underneath my clothes to protect my heart from being bumped. And then I had plastic calipers that strapped around my legs and specially built shoes. So I had all this stuff that made me obviously look really different when I walked into school. So I'd get called the Heart Foundation, I'd get told I was ugly, and I would go home from school crying. And by the time I was 10, I had had enough and made a decision that I wanted to end my life. I went into the bathroom and shut the door, and I got a razor blade out of the cupboard because no one had an answer for me. My parents didn't know what had happened. The doctors couldn't tell me anything. I prayed in that moment because my parents had raised me in a Christian home, and so they taught me about God, and I decided that it was his fault. I decided it was his fault. If he was the creator, then he made a mistake, and I wanted to have a conversation with him about that. And he reminded me of my younger brother, that I needed to be here for him, and gave me this perspective where I could understand that everyone is living with and facing challenges on a daily basis. God was kind of like, yeah, I created you like that so that people will know that miracles still happen today, and so that people will know that I'm real, because how else do we explain you, Aisha? How else do we explain that you're still here? I felt this personal conversation happening between me and him, not out loud, obviously, but just these thoughts in my mind that I wouldn't have thought myself, and this sense of hope coming back. So I got off the floor and put the razor blade back and came out of the bathroom, and I'm truly grateful to be alive today for so many reasons, but primarily because I would never have thought that my life would turn out like it has. It hasn't been all roses, obviously, but I can say that I'm independent. I'm an independent adult who, I can drive a car, I have a job, I trained and became a counsellor. I use my story to positively impact people and motivate people. I'm glad that, God saw this far ahead. I definitely didn't see this far ahead. I think my mum did. She saw this person that I am today, and I have life in all of its fullness because of her and because of God and because of the powerful influence of my friends and my family and my faith.